say?
I am Iron Man.
Oh, what's in the box?
Flash, I love you! But we only have 14 hours to save the Earth!
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
And here we go.
Dread it. Run from it. Destiny still arrives.
Okay, so, ever since a guy dressed in purple prosthetics turned to the screen and smiled in the mid-credit sequence of the 2012 Avengers movie, ultimately causing an untold amount of mild-mannered comic book readers to Google search, "Who is Thanos?" This is essentially what the Marvel Cinematic Universe has been building towards. 6 years later, 12 feature films, in excess of 23 new recurring characters, and 5 seasons of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., we finally arrive at Thanos' big entrance in Marvel's Avengers Infinity War.
Tell me his name again.
Thanos.
As we know, we've got the character of Thanos, who's moved from prosthetic extra to CGI Josh Brolin. He sat in his chair, made idle threats, picked up the Infinity Gauntlet while saying that he'd do it himself, yet still waited 7 films and 3 years to actually do anything. Now, he's out to collect the Infinity Stones that were featured in the original Avengers, Thor: The Dark World, Guardians of the Galaxy, Age of Ultron, and Doctor Strange. And of course, if he's able to gather all 6 stones, he could destroy life on a scale hitherunto undreamt of.
Did you seriously just say hitherto undreamt of?
Are you seriously leaning on the cauldron of the cosmos?
Hence the need for all the heroes on Earth and across the galaxy to join together and stop the Mad Titan before he gets out of his chair.
Thanos is coming.
He will destroy everything.
It's not gonna happen.
Let's have some fun.
Okay, so I've just gotten out of the film and holy fucking shit, it was amazing. The pace of the film is relentless. The ambition and the stakes that are set in this film are frigging headache-inducing. In a good way. Every character is given a moment to shine. Every character serves a purpose to the overall story, and ultimately, any theories that you had about the film, from who was going to live and who was going to die, to the location of the Soul Stone, to what happens in the end, can just all be thrown out the window. The Russo brothers basically just tore up the rulebook with this one.
The fate of the universe is at stake. So this is it.
And look, I certainly don't want to spoil anything in this film, but there are some questions that can be answered. Is Thanos another in a long line of lame Marvel villains? Oh, hell no. This movie, despite its massive cast, universe-spanning settings, and ticking time bomb of a narrative, is really just Thanos' movie. We follow his journey, learn his motivations, and come to empathize with his mass genocide approach to balancing the universe. His motivations may differ from the comics, but within the first 5 minutes of this film, where he establishes himself as the mother of all villains, I don't think anyone is going to care. Is the movie just another Iron Man in the Avengers, or even possibly a Black Panther 1.5? Definitely not. Writers Christopher Marcus and Stephen McFeely have written a script that balances each character. Each character serves a purpose and propels the story forward. Outside of Thanos, Thor is probably the next character with the most screen time, but no hero really feels shortchanged.
Not today, sir.
Are you making your voice deeper?
No. You
He
are.
just did it
You're
again.
imitating the god.
This is my voice.
So cool.
The Russo brothers have managed to effortlessly move from one setting to another without any of it feeling jarring. We move from the furthest reaches of space to New York, to the planet of nowhere, to Scotland, to Thanos' homeworld, to Wakanda, and back again, without ever breaking a sweat. Each setting serves as its own little vignette to shuffle the film along. It keeps the pace going non-stop and expertly balances the many balls, or should I say infinity gems, in the air. Now, there are very few things to complain about or criticize when looking at this film. At an absolute push, there are some scenes where Thanos' CGI is just a little too obvious, and even though Thanos is probably the most fleshed out villain Marvel has ever done, the same can't be said for the Black Order, who are very undercooked and very underused. I'm sure some may criticize the cosmic coincidences within this film, but I often feel that this has been covered via comments characters make throughout the movie to justify how certain people show up at convenient times. So for me, this is not a concern of any kind. And of course, I imagine others may feel that there's just too much going on and too many things to keep track of. However, there's no denying that this is what Marvel films are all about. The continuous stories, overlapping narratives, and multi-film character arcs is what Marvel's been about for over a decade. These films require the dedication to details when moving from one film to the next. Yes, it may not be user-friendly to new viewers, but it certainly rewards longtime fans.
I'm Peter.
Doctor Strange.
Oh, you're using their made-up names. I'm Spider-Man then.
Ultimately, this film should satisfy even the pickiest of Marvel fans. Much like how Joss Whedon's original Avengers felt like peeling open a fresh comic, Infinity War feels like feverishly reading through an Event Nimbus by Marvel. One thing that really needs to be commended about the film is just how much they have been able to keep under wraps from the public. From surprise character appearances that answer questions from all the way back in Phase 1 to character deaths and character arcs that no one saw coming. The film's trailers sent out quite a few red herrings, and when all is said and done, I challenge anyone to be able to confidently say what will happen in Avengers 4. Even with my own wealth of knowledge about Marvel, I was left watery-eyed and at a loss as to what happens next. You'll be left satisfied, but man, it is going to be a long 12 months waiting for the follow-up. As a comic book fan, Avengers Infinity War gets 6 Infinity Stones out of 6. But as a film fan, Infinity War gets a firm 4.25 stars out of 5.
Ready? Let's go.